our time. Whoa. We must vote for. Eleka must be neutral. INEC must be neutral from this election coming. We are begging them. They must be sincere. We are begging DSS. They should go away. All these fake police. We were PDP. We were told yesterday. They brought fake police to Ekiti. Let them bring them more. We are not here. We are going to stand with our boat. Ekiti Onibaje ho! Ekiti Onibaje ho! PDP!
Power!
PDP! PDP!
Power!
PDP!
Power!
Your Excellency, sir. PDP!
Power!
My name is Edda Johnson Abioye. Agbára ńlá kò sí ó ti wó. Thank you. Ó ti wó. Kò sí ó ti wó.
Kò sí ó ti wó.
Agbára ìtẹ́lẹ̀ ó ti wó. Agbára ńlá kò sí ó ti wó. PDP power. Thank you very much. You are blessed. My name is Ed, the state chairman of Nigeria Association of Cooperative Transporters, who doubled as the treasurer, private sector in the state. My colleagues have spoken. What I will talk on is what this transportation organization needs in Ekiti State from the incoming administration of our Professor Oluso. One, Your Excellency, sir, we want to be a partner to this government, a partner to your government, but to be a partner. Two, of transportation, to be carved out of Ministry of Works and Transportation. We want to stand on our own. We want to have our own ministry. Number senior special advisor on transportation among the drivers. We want PAs from the transporters. If all these ones don't, if you give all this, thank you, sir. What? I see. PDP
power.
PDP
Power.
I'm sorry wípé ìpàdé dọjọ́ òbò báwo alájù yín lọ bẹ́yìn lójú wá lọ ìpàdé dọjọ́ òbò ó yẹ o ìpàdé dọjọ́ òbò bẹ́yìn lójú wá lọ báwo alájọ ìbò PDP. Kò sí ìbẹ̀rù lọ́kàn wa, Your Excellency. Adúró digbí ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀. Yín àwa ní PDP.
Power.
Ẹ máa rọrùn.
Ẹ̀rọ mòróró.
Àwa PDP.
Power.
Ẹjọ́. Olúṣọlá. Bó lọ́mọ ogun, wẹ̀yìn rẹ̀ wò. Bó lọ́mọ ogun, kò sí ibẹ̀ lọ́kàn wa ti dúró. Ẹ̀yin ẹgbẹ́ cooperative tó wà ń bí, approve unity. Unity progress. Gbogbo apáta ẹja dò fún Olúṣọlá.
Yóò jẹ gbèsè kún gbèsè ní. Yóò jẹ gbèsè kún gbèsè ní. Àná àárù tó ń bọ̀ bà lọ́jọ́. Yóò jẹ gbèsè Àròjú olè ẹ̀mú. Àròjú olè ẹ̀mú. Ó kọ́ bọ̀ wọlé. Àròjú olè ẹ̀mú. Kí ni a wí? Báyọ̀mí ò ṣe mọ́bò. Ó ń kọ́ bọ̀. Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Thank you and God bless you.
PDP.
Power.
Power náà dà.
Power náà rèé. Side by side. No shaking.
Ẹni ṣakúṣakú. Màá wá kọrin fún yín, ẹ bá mi. Ó bá dalẹ̀.
Dáríjì fọmọ tó bá dalẹ̀, kò sí dáríjì fọmọ tó bá. Kò sí dáríjì fọmọ tó bá dalẹ̀. Kò sí dáríjì fọmọ tó bá dalẹ̀. Àfi tó bá okùn so. Kò sí dáríjì fọmọ tó bá dalẹ̀.
Wọ́n ti sọ wípé àwọn ti gate government house ní ìsìn báyìí ẹ rí i pé ẹ lè gbé mọ́tò wọlé ibi a lè gbé mọ́tò wọlé à ń lo àkókò yìí láti pe àwọn èèyàn wa ní ìlú òkè lọ́hùn kí wọ́n bá wa sọ fún ìjọba wípé ó tó gẹ̀ẹ́ wípé president wà ń bí nítorí pé president wà níbí wọ́n tilẹ̀kùn mọ́ government house tó yẹ kó ta ni chief security officer ìlú yìí.
Ayọ̀fáyọ̀ ṣe Òṣogbo, Èkìtì onígbàgbé Òṣogbo. Ayọ̀fáyọ̀ ṣe Òṣogbo, Èkìtì onígbàgbé Òṣogbo. Ayọ̀fáyọ̀ ṣe Òṣogbo, Èkìtì onígbàgbé Òṣogbo. Lọ́mọ ogun wẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ wò.
PDP. I want to quickly reply Adam Oshiomhole. I want to quickly reply Adam Oshiomhole, touching on the integrity of our candidate. Adam Oshiomhole at the stadium just said, he's not a professor. I want to say to you, my people, PDP,
Power.
I want you, my people, to listen. You must listen. Adam Oshiomhole is a crook. Without integrity, he rigged the no election and thought that would happen here. My people, Adam Oshiomhole, Chairman APC, listen to me 1 minute. President Mohamed produced his certificate. Rather than produce his certificate,
Buhari alọ.
PDP, rather than produce his certificate, the president went to hire SANs. Rather than produce his certificate, he went to said if the president produced toilet roll, a certificate is okay for Nigerians. Then it is the toilet roll that is not making him to perform now. Because he has a toilet roll when President Muhammadu Buhari is not performing. Buhari along.
Buhari alọ. Buhari alọ. Ọ̀ṣínbàjò àtẹ̀lé. Buhari alọ. Buhari alọ. Buhari alọ. Buhari alọ. Buhari alọ.
PDP. It is fire for fire. Fire for fire.
Fire.
Buhari is in question. If you will go home shamed. Iniquity, you will not have your way. The people will stand up to you.
Oh, yes.
All your last 48 hours, we are monitoring it. When you were at Akure, we were monitoring you. When you got to our policies last night, we were monitoring you. All the thugs you kept in hotels, you are so desperate to come and block the gates of the government house. Shame on you. Tell them shame on them.
Shame on you.
Show me your voter's card. Your voter's card. Good. You know, PDP, you know, we don't want the rabble-rousers to come and be telling us, I will stand up to you in this election by the grace of God. The Bible says, if God be for us, who can be against us? You will come one way, you have come, you will flee 7 ways. The Bible says, greater is Peter, Ayo, Fayose, in this election, on Saturday. APC, Fayemi, and your machinery will be swept away like the Egyptians in Jesus' name.
Amen.
My people, we bow for bumper.
Àwájú wa ṣẹ́gun lọ. Àwájú wa ṣẹ́gun lọ. Nítorí àwọn akẹ́kẹ̀ẹ́ wa lé ọjọ́ oṣù. Àwájú wa ṣẹ́gun lọ. Àjú ṣẹ́gun lọ. Àwájú wa ṣẹ́gun lọ. Nítorí àwọn akẹ́kẹ̀ẹ́ wa lé ọjọ́ oṣù. Àwájú wa ṣẹ́gun lọ.
Àwọn tó yọ wá lẹ́nu bàbá.
Yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu o, àwọn tó yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu bàbá. Yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu o,
Àwọn tó yọ wá lẹ́nu bàbá.
yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu o, àwọn tó yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu bàbá. Yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu
bàbá.
yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu o, àwọn tó yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu bàbá. Yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu o.
Winner!
Winner o, winner, ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ ló ń lọ.
And we go win forever. Winner. I win. PDP.
Power.
Àwọn gbẹ́kẹ̀lé ìjà ogun agbẹ́kẹ̀lé ọba àwọn ọba. Àwájú aṣẹ́gun lọ. Àwájú aṣẹ́gun lọ. Nítorí àwa gbẹ́kẹ̀lé adé Jésù. Àwájú aṣẹ́gun lọ.
Àwájú aṣẹ́gun lọ.
Nítorí àwa gbẹ́kẹ̀lé adé aṣẹ́gun lọ. PDP
Power.
pẹ̀lú ìkan ìjà wọn, wọ́n máa parun pẹ̀lú ẹni.
Amen.
Ẹ ṣé a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín torí pé ẹ dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ogun tiwa. Ẹ̀yin náà la rí Tinubu pé ìjọba tó wà ńbẹ̀ yìí ìjọba gbogbo wa ni. Ìjà rí àyẹ̀wò bí ìgbà tí Fáyẹmí wà ńbẹ̀ lọ́dún 4. Ìjà rí àyẹ̀wò bí ohun tá à ń sọ fún wọn nìyí pé tó gbéṣe lọ́dún 4 kó fi hàn wá. Kò sí ibi tá a lọ lẹ́kìtì tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀rọ wọn Fáyọ̀ṣe àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ẹ dúró owó wọn ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ gbà owó èṣù ni owó ẹ̀jẹ̀ ni ẹ má gbà wọlé yín. Ọlọ́run wà pẹ̀lú yín.
Ìjàdọ̀pín ogun sì tó olùgbàlà jagun olú. Orin ayọ̀ la ó máa kọ́. Ìjàdọ̀
Operational
progress.
Ẹ̀ṣẹ́ ìlọ. Operational
Progress.
Opro.
Super.
Opro. You love me. You hate me. You do up alone. Everything now. Wait for your turn, no.
Power.
I'm happy to see our plan. Our leader. Our leader of universe. We
Call you CB.
no shake. No
Call you CB.
no shaking.
Yes.
We stand gidigba.
Yes.
If they want to intimidate us, we intimidate them.
Yes.
If they want to harass us, we harass them.
Yes.
We don't show go forward.
Yes.
We shall move forward. Eleka is already the governor. Professor Eleka is already the governor. Let me tell you, Komole, that you must rise up. You must stand up. You must defend your vote. You must protect your future. This no more. APC win in the state. PDP power jọ, Eleka jọ, Osoko jọ.
Power now da. PDP. Greatest Okada. It does not appear as if you are. It does not appear. Greatest Okada rider. If you are here, I want to see your 2 hands up. Greatest Okada rider. Up national. Up pro. Up plan. I say God bless you all. Oh, me. Thank you. Excellency, our Governor, Dr. Peter Ayodele Fayose, the Oshokomola of the universe. Oh. I want to assure PDP. I want to assure you, good people of Ekiti State, that come July 14, Eleka will be declared. Good people of Ekiti State, we want to assure you that come July 14, the Jogu Shaki will be declared deputy. Whether they carry police, it no go work. Say it no go work. I say it no go work. Oh, ti ṣe o. Oh, ti ṣe o. Bàbá ti ṣe o. Ó tó ń bà wá lẹ́rù, bàbá ti ṣe. Ó ti ṣe. Ó ti ṣe o. Ó ti ṣe o. Bàbá ti ṣe o. Ó tó ń bà wá lẹ́rù, bàbá ti ṣe. PDP.
Power.
Now, let me tell you this. APC, but I want to tell you the change has overtaken them. The change has changed their shame to shame. So when I say APC, you will say shame. APC.
Shame.
APC, shame. Oh, Shawobele. APC.
Shame.
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 PDP power. PDP power. God bless you. I want to reply Adam Oshiomole. I just learned that he said, Eleka Kola professor. I direct him to this Council of Obafemi Awolowo University. He should go and make his inquiries there. I direct him to the Department of Building of Obafemi Awolowo University. Inquiries there. I am not surprised. Oshiomole is very far from PhD, talk less of, very far from. Oshiomole should come out with his primary school certificate. If Oshiomole is very sure of himself, I'm talking of Adam Oshiomole, the APC chairman, primary school certificate, let him bring it out. He should publish, if he's sure of himself. I am not surprised, like father, like son. Like father, he does not even have a certificate. So you should not be surprised. You should not be surprised. All they are thinking is toward the wrong direction. To show you by the grace of God, Olushola is a professor. Olushola Eleka, say come July 4th. It's well with us. PDP, we are coasting to victory. On the election day, go. Do not lose your courage. Do not lose your courage. Than the power of those of them. We are more than them. He said, greater is than he that is in them. We are more than them.
Yes.
We are more than the army.
Oh, yes.
We are more than the soldiers.
Yes.
We are more than the police. We are conquering. I say we are victorious. Go there July 14 with all confidence. And surely victory. PDP. PDP.
PDP. Dayo. Maxima. This is not working. I want you, my people. Minutes. I don't want noise. I want the whole world. I beg you again. I beg you again. I don't want noise. Tell this gentleman. The next 5 to 10 noise. I want you to learn from this. I want the whole country to learn from this. And I want to send messages. And I want to let you know that we cannot be conquered. I say we cannot be conquered. I want to tell you what you are expected to do on the election day. And even before the election day, I would equally beg those who know how to read and those who know how to read English very well. I'm going to refer them to some scriptures where you will see that this is a part by God. They trust in chariots. If it's not an abnormality, would you see police to come and block the gates of the government house? As I speak, they block the gates of the government house because they saw you coming in and coming in. They don't want this crowd to grow more than this. Whether you like it or not, whether you are hired to come and cause problem here, listen to me very well. The Bible in the book of Joshua, and I say you should be quiet. I've asked for you to be quiet and listen. I've asked you to please listen for a few minutes. 1. In verse 6, I want somebody to read English and somebody to read Yoruba. The English becomes very necessary because of my audience at home. Joshua, come on, Sariwo. I have pleaded with you to please allow me for 5 minutes. Joshua chapter 1. All right, which version first? No, you can read hold on, let him read the English, you will read the Yoruba. Chapter 1 verse 6.
Now, after the death of Moses,
Joshua chapter 6. No.
Be strong and of a good courage.
Eh?
Be strong and of a good courage.
My people, the Bible says you should be strong and of good courage.
For unto these people,
Oh, I don't want noise. I don't want noise. If truly I'm your leader, you must be quiet. Eh?
for unto these people,
Start again.
be strong and of a good courage.
Uh-huh.
For unto these people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land.
Wait, to put out your mouth, say there. Don't make noise, no noise.
For unto Ayofayoshe shalt thou divide land which I swear unto thy fathers to give them.
Yes, there are so many politicians that will retire on Saturday.
Yes.
They will retire on Saturday.
Yes.
And that is why they are fighting like this. Don't close it, though. I want to step forward a bit. You want to read Yoruba, yeah?
ṣe gírí kí o sì mú àyàlé nítorí ìwọ ni yóò pín ilẹ̀ náà fún àwọn ènìyàn yìí. Ìwọ Ayọ̀fáyọ̀ṣe ni yóò pín ilẹ̀ náà.
Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni? Okay, no noise. Let us go to verse 7. Verse 7, verse 6 said, be strong. Verse 6 said, be strong. Verse 7 says what? The only condition is that you should be
And very courageous.
and very courageous. That is the Bible. That is the Bible says you should be strong. The only condition, he said only. What I said in verse 6, I'm saying it again in verse 7. Only be thou strong. Now, let us go to verse.
Have I not commanded thee?
Your Bible is commanding you now. In line with the word of God, he said,
Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage.
that only have I not commanded you. This is the Lord's command on Saturday. Be strong. Be. Oh yeah.
Be not afraid,
Be not afraid.
neither be thou dismayed.
Only neither should thou be dismayed.
For thy Lord thy God is wherever thou goest.
Isaiah is telling you now that the Lord is with you. Any form of machination will fail. Oh yeah, Yoruba.
Èmi kò ha pàṣẹ fún ọ bí? Ṣe gírí má ṣe bẹ̀rù. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kí àyà rẹ kí ó má ṣe fò. Nítorí pé Olúwa Ọlọ́run rẹ wà pẹ̀lú rẹ níbikíbi tí ìwọ bá ń lọ. Ògo ni fún Bàbá àti fún Ọmọ àti fún Ọlọ́run ẹ̀mí mímọ́.
Kò tí ì parí o. Kò tí ì parí. PDP. Hallelujah. Ẹni sùúrù bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ẹjọ́. Leader wa ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹjọ́. Òṣòkò ló ń sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ bá mi ka the last verse in that chapter, verse 18.
Whosoever he be thou doeth, that do rebel against thy commandment, I will not hearken unto thy words in all thou commandest him.
Tó bá ka yìí tó tẹ̀lé yẹn, wọ́n á ní báyọ̀ ṣe ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó yá kàn ní o, bá a ṣe ẹ̀ irọ́. Ó máa gbọ́. And we not hearken unto thy words. You know him. The Bible said he shall be put to death. But ní sọ yẹn.
Only be strong and of a good courage.
That we should be strong and be of good courage. This land is our own. The Lord has given this land to us. The enemies have surrounded this land. The Egyptians, they have surrounded the government house. This is the source and power, the source of power in this state. This is the authority given to me by God on your behalf. And the enemies they've surrounded Israel. Let me show you what the Lord said about them. Listen. Go to Psalm 27. Psalm 27. Psalm 27. Psalm 27. Oh yeah. Verse 2. Verse 2.
When the wicked and my foes came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell.
My enemies, they came to eat my flesh. They are at the stadium now. They came to the government house. The Bible says, they came upon me to eat my flesh. They stumbled and fell. That is the Bible. Let us hear the Yoruba.
Nígbà tí àwọn ènìyàn búburú àní àwọn ọ̀tá mi àti abínúkú mi súnmọ́ mi láti jẹ ẹran ara mi, wọ́n kọsẹ̀, wọ́n sì ṣubú. Bí ogun àyà mi kì yóò já, bí ogun tilẹ̀ dìde sí mi, bí ogun tilẹ̀ dìde sí mi, nínú èyí tí ọkàn mi yóò lé.
Thou as an host, should encamp. Though an host should encamp against me, though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident.
Now, ẹ ṣe ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún wọn lélẹ̀ kán máa mú lọ, kán lọ máa lò ó lẹ́gbẹ̀gbẹ́. Ìwé Isaiah chapter 54. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ohun tí Bíbélì sọ. Àwọn mìíràn don't trust in chariots. They trust in the name of the Lord our God. They shall fall for our sake. Verse 17. 54 verse 17.
No weapon that is formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against no weapon that is formed against Ayofayoshe shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against Ayofayoshe in judgment shall be condemned.
The stadium shall be condemned. They shall be condemned.
Amen.
Somebody told me Yaya Bello said if I had come to say Yaya Bello, Yaya Bello,
Yeye Bello.
Yaya Bello,
Yeye Bello.
they said if I had come there, he would have done one thing or the other. Tell him he's a small boy.
Small boy.
He was ordinary PA when I was governor with our brother, Governor. Yaya Lebelo is a child of circumstances. He's not a product of true democracy. I defeated their candidate. I defeated Governor, my brother, Governor Niyi Adebayo. I defeated him in 2003 landslide. I have penchant to defeat incumbent. After this election, to be defeated. PDP,
Power.
tell Yaya Bello, that the army of the Egyptians, he has flooded Ekiti with dogs, but the Lord will shame him.
Amen.
He has to pay back to those who rigged him to power. He is a small boy. I don't want to join issues. But tell him to land from Ekiti when he's going. He should see that flyover. There's something like that in Kogi. Kogi? Abi? There is no good road in Kogi. When you are coming from Ondo State, there is no good road until you get to Ekiti. When you are coming from Kogi, there is no good road until tell Yaya Bello that I cannot continue to reply the dog in my house. Yaya Bello is a small boy. He has no experience. It's another need. Those are wonderful people. Yaya Bello is not, we cannot qualify him because
We have graduates as drivers today. This our brother for road is a lawyer. I want to assure you, God will be with you.
Amen.
I want to assure you, don't worry about these shenanigans. Don't worry about this. They will fall by their own sword.
Amen.
By the grace of God.
Amen.
By the powers of God Almighty today, we declare you the governor-elect of Ekiti State, Nigeria. We declare you the governor-elect. Police forces, army will not stop you. INEC will not stop you.
Amen.
PDP will not stop you. APC will not make you. Nobody will make you. It is not of him that mercy to conquer on Saturday in PDP.
Paul.
PDP. You see? Ẹ ṣé gan. Àwọn tí Yaya Bello kó wá àti gómìnà Ondo. PDP. Àkúrẹ́. Dáre Àdán. Ṣé rí eyín èèyàn mi sà? Ọwọ́ tí ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ bá gbé ara ẹ̀ ló fi máa nà. Tó bá jẹ́ pé òtítọ́ lolúwa yan arákùnrin ìyá mú ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ o. Ọlọ́run ò respect APC when you are president of life, no man shall be able to stand in front of me. Jacob ìdájọ́ àwọn tọ́ọ̀gì wọn nìyẹn. Dáre Àdán. Alákùrẹ́. Lẹ́kan. We will equally. This night I'm coming to the television. Polo from Kogi. Whatever they are, sir, don't worry. Tó bá ti jẹ́ pé òtítọ́ ni mo fi sin ìpínlẹ̀ yìí, if truly I have served Ekiti, in all my dealings, I have served you, the Lord will stand by me. Those people, they brought a card for Ekiti. And paid. Put that man, put your camera to the vehicle. No driver picked anybody called APC today. Their vehicles are here willingly. Look at it. Look at them. Okada is behind me here. Nobody will pick them back up too. Let rain and sun, let it abide with them on their head. You go back to your destination when they leave. They said tomorrow when I want to do victory walk tomorrow, they said they want to bring violence. We are ready for you. Tomorrow everybody must wear white. Victory is assured. You will not fail. Be strong. Be courageous. I salute all my brothers. Àárọ̀ 10 o'clock. Wọ́n láwọn akádà síta àwọn abáwa ń bẹ̀ sà. PDP. We will wait upon the living God. PDP.
Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
Ẹnikẹ́ni bá bá àrẹ́sẹ̀ ní. Ilẹ̀ wa lélẹ́yìí. They cannot come and hold us hostage. It's impossible. Mo ti nà Fáyẹmí rí àrẹ̀mọ Òṣòkò náà máa nà án.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Cause Fáyẹmí is our customer.
Kosama dadali. Kosama dadali. Kosama dadali. Kosama dadali. Kosama dadali. Fáyẹ̀mí jẹ̀ràn lórí ẹ̀gbọ́n rẹ̀ kó lójú tó ṣàpá àti padà síbi tí ó ti jẹ̀yà lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ̀yin ọmọdé ẹ̀gbọ́n. Fáyẹ̀mí nítorí àìgbọràn rẹ̀ kó lójú tó já ẹ̀pá àti padà síbi tí ó ti jẹ.
Ẹ má ṣe bí Fáyẹ̀mí ẹran aláìgbọràn.
Kó sábà dáadáa nì. Kó sábà dáadáa nì.
Fáyẹ̀mí.
Kó sábà dáadáa nì.
Fáyẹ̀mí.
Kó sábà dáadáa nì.
APC.
Kó sábà dáadáa nì. Kó sábà dáadáa nì.
Fáyẹ̀mí.
PDP.
Power.
Ẹni fayọ̀ kó.
Èmi fayọ̀ mú lọ́wọ́.
Mi ò rọ́wọ́ ẹ lókè o. PDP.
Power.
Àwájú àṣẹ.
Àwájú aṣẹ́gun lọ. Àjú aṣẹ́gun lọ. Àwájú aṣẹ́gun lọ. Àwájú aṣẹ́gun lọ. Orí àwa gbẹ́kẹ̀ wa lé ọ Jésù. Àwájú aṣẹ́gun lọ.
Sísí tòróró la máa fún wọn.
Tòróró sísí tòróró la máa fún wọn. Ẹ lọ fi jẹ̀bà nílé yín. Yàyà Bello lọ fi jẹ̀bà tó bá dé Kogi. Sísí tòróró la.
PDP, there is one card. Taleleyi, who is this? Stop that. There's one card here, Aluko Olalekan Ebenezer. Olalekan Ebenezer, you've lost your card and it's here. Voters card. Sùúrù láti ṣètò bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa lọ díẹ̀ bọ̀dá fẹ́ kí wọ́n kó dàtí àti àwọn kúrò nígboro kọ́ kó wòran kúrò ok.
PDP. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa.
Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Àwọn fáyà yìí kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Wọ́n kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. Àwọn ọmọdé wọ̀nyí kéré sí nọ́mbà wa. PDP.
Power.
Ṣáàrí tó bá di ìjọ òbò wá gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣòkó ṣe sọ ẹ má jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rù rárá. Ọmọ tó bá ní wá lára ẹ bọ́ ṣòkòtò ẹ̀. Ẹ má ṣe wàhálà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Ẹ dúró tì í ẹ bọ́ ṣòkòtò ẹ̀. Tẹ bá ti bọ́ ṣòkòtò ẹ̀ ẹ̀rẹ̀ kan tó bá gbé dání ẹ gbà sílẹ̀. Ẹ fi sílẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ó bá di aago 3 ẹ jẹ́ kí wèrè ẹ máa lọ. Nítorí pé gbogbo nǹkan náà làwọn fẹ́ wá fi bá wa jà. Wọ́n ti ẹ̀ ní lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ẹni tó gbẹnu ọ̀nà wọlé ò rí bí wọ̀. Ká má wàá sọ pé ẹni tó gbẹ̀gbẹ̀gbẹ́. Nítorí náà ní ọjọ́ ìbò tá a bá ti dìbò wa tán torí ọwọ́ ọ̀tún làwa wà tẹ́ ẹ bá ti rí ìwé ìbò yẹn wà. Ẹ ní sí lọ́wọ́ òsì ti yín o. Ọwọ́ ọ̀tún lẹ máa wà o. Ṣé ẹ rí tẹ́ ẹ bá ti débẹ̀ ọ̀tún là á tẹ̀ sí. Níbi tí umbrella wà ẹ má bẹ̀rù ẹnì kankan. Ẹ jù síbẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ bá ti jù síbẹ̀ tán ẹ wá dúró kí ó lè ṣe ojú yín kí wọ́n kà á. Àmú ti ń ṣe. Wọ́n bá ti ṣe tán tán bá ti kà á tẹ́ ẹ ṣúọ̀ wọ́n lẹ̀ mọ́ ara ògiri ìgbà yẹn lẹ máa kúrò. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ nǹkan tí wọ́n náà fẹ́ ṣe.
wọ́n ní gbogbo wa kọ́ la máa dìbò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní àwọn èèyàn díẹ̀ ní card reader ló máa certify. Wọ́n ní àwọn àti ẹ̀tún ti kó àwọn èèyàn àwọn dé earlier than normal so that wọ́n bá ti kọ́kọ́ ṣiṣẹ́ lọ kó tó di pé tí àwa bá lọ pẹ́ card reader yẹn wá máa ṣe bálabàla. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó pẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ tó débẹ̀. Aago 6 ẹ jẹun kẹ́ ẹ yó kẹ́ ẹ lọ dúró síbẹ̀ dè wọ́n. Tí wọ́n bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣe é tí wọ́n bá rí wípé card reader ò mú orúkọ ẹ jáde tó bá ti rí pé card reader ò mú orúkọ ẹ jáde wọ́n á wá sọ fún ibi iṣẹ́ àwọn lọ́la kó lọ ṣàtúnṣe. Irọ́ ni wọ́n ń pa. Wọ́n ní tó o bá gbà tó o bá ṣe wàhálà wọ́n á wá já ballot paper fún ẹ láì fún ẹ ní accreditation. Ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nítorí pé tí card reader tí ò bá ti accredit èèyàn tí ò ti certify thumbprint yẹn tí wọ́n bá já ballot paper yẹn fún ẹ tán bá wọn á da result unit yẹn nù. Ara àwọn àgàbàgebè tí wọ́n ń gbé bọ̀ nìyẹn ọgbọ́n olè ọgbọ́n àlùmọ́kọ́rọ́ yìí Ọlọ́run ò dẹ̀ ní gbà fún wọn. Nítorí náà tá a bá ti débẹ̀ àṣà púrọ́púrọ́ àdúró bí ọmọ ogun kò sí ìjà kò sí ìta ṣùgbọ́n ẹnì kankan nínú wọn kò gbọ́dọ̀ tún gbé nǹkan tí ò kì í ṣe débẹ̀.
A ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ má jẹ́ kó pẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ tó débẹ̀ nítorí àwọn ní àwọn á ti tò síwájú card reader á ti ṣiṣẹ́ lọ ìgbà táwọn èèyàn tó tò sẹ́yìn bá dé á máa ṣe bálabàla. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fún wọn láyè ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ gbogbo ẹni tí card reader ò bá ti rí ìdí ẹ̀ kó dúró sí wọn lọ́rùn pé tẹ́ bá ti ṣe tán kẹ́ ẹ ṣe. Eléyìí gbọ́dọ̀ ka tọwọ́ mi kí n tó dìbò. Ẹ má jẹ́ kán já ballot paper ọ̀ràn fún yín o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run wọn ò ní káńsù bò wá yín o. Ọlọ́run á dì yín mú o. Ẹ di òpó yìí mú. Òpó tẹ́ ti rọ̀ mọ́ látijọ́ èyí tí ò yẹ̀ kò dẹ̀ ní yẹ̀ nígbà tí bàbá yìí. Kò ní yẹ̀ ń gbẹ́ ẹlẹ́ka. Kò ní yẹ̀ ń gbẹ́ ẹlẹ́ka.
Àmín Jésù.
Inú yín á dùn.
Àmín Jésù.
Ayọ̀ yín á kún.
Àmín Jésù.
Ọkàn yín á balẹ̀.
Àmín.
Ní July 15 kí là ń bọ̀ wá ṣe?
Ó wá jubilate.
À ń bọ̀ wá yọ̀ ní níjọ́ Sunday. Bá ti ń bọ̀ kẹ́ ẹ ti mú nǹkan tá a máa fi ṣàjọyọ̀ dání. Kí la máa fún wọn? 16 tòróró la máa fún wọn.
Tòróró.
16
Tòróró la máa fún wọn tòróró. Ẹ lọ fi jẹ̀bà nílé wọn tòróró.
Kan lọ fi jẹ̀bà níṣàn ilé.
Tòróró. Tòróró la fún wọn. Tòróró la fún wọn. Tòróró. Ẹ lọ fi jẹ̀bà nílé wọn.
PDP ẹ dúró síbi tẹ́ ẹ wà. Ọlọ́run á dá yín ní èrè ayọ̀ níbi tẹ́ ẹ wà yìí. Inú yín á dùn, ayọ̀ yín á kún. Ẹ jèrè PDP. It is well with all of you.
Amen.
PDP.
Power.
Power ìjọ̀wọ́ o.
Power ìjà.
PDP.
Tí gbogbo wa ní. Kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò sẹ́gbẹ́ mìíràn tí a lè ṣe.
Yes, I'm with some of the leaders of the transport workers, and I would like to ask you, how will this rally translate to electoral PDP?
Before that, my moderator, my name is Honorable Atowoju Adekunle, the state chairman for Pickup and Load Association of Nigeria, Ekiti State Chapter, popularly known in Yoruba as Ajay Igboro, and the financial secretary of private sector in Ekiti State. With this union in Ekiti State, since APC have come on board for the past 3 months ago, they have been killing our people, intimidating us, arresting us day by day. To do something better about this thing, instead of cooperating with us, they join them in doing this mess. That is why I decide not to join issue with them, to withdraw all our. If they are not take time to what we have been doing, we are going to withdraw our services till after the election, because we stood by Eleka, we stood by Fayose. Our transporter have never witnessed this opportunity in this regime we are. So with this, and in the constitution of Nigeria, everybody must support the present government of the day. We support it. we believe in fire in Eleka, so that's why we stand by him. We are not having anything to do with them. We are taking our service away from them because we don't believe them. They have been killing us, harassing us, assassinating us. We don't want that again. Ekiti is for peace. For the past 3.5 years, all this shut down. Nobody have ever died among us. But since they came, we can mention about 10 of them, of us, that have been killed by APC member. So we don't want that in Ekiti anymore.
All right. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Reverend Barrister Samuel Olugbenga Agbede, the state chairman, Road Transport Employers, and secretary.
So tell us, why are the transport workers in the state backing Eleka?
We are backing Eleka because he is our candidate. Not only the transport union, all artisans in Eleka. That's why we are showing solidarity. We've told APC we can never support them because we got no benefit from their previous administration.
Okay, thank you so much. Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Edda Johnson Nabioye, the state chairman of Nigeria Association of Cooperative Transporters and the treasurer private sectors in the Ekiti state.
So tell us the reason for this rally.
The reason for this rally is that we want peace in any crisis. We want peace, and Eleka is our candidate, so we want to vote for him. No more, no less. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please introduce yourself.
State Chairman, National Union of Transport Workers in Ekiti State, also the President of Private Sector in Ekiti State.
So how will this rally translate to electoral victory for the People's Democratic Party in Ekiti State?
Anybody throughout Nigeria can see that PDP is on ground in Ekiti State, no doubt about that. You can see we members of all sectors of transport union withdraw our vehicle from the road. That is why in these APC people, they have been victimized us since a month ago. Why are they victimized us? That they know we are going to vote PDP, either they like it or not. We don't know what is on ground that threats us with gun and cutlasses. We members of National Union, we are allowed by this. Quote me, no amount of intimidation that can shut up my mouth. For me, PDP in Ekiti State and the people and the time members of National.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Let's have you.
My name is Dancy Olani, Ekiti State Chairman Okada Rider, Vice Chairman Private Sector in Ekiti State.
Support for Eleka.
Yes, we support Eleka because of Fayose. Because of Fayose, we love Okada in Ekiti State. During the.
What has Fayose done for you that you can point to that has really encouraged you people to come out and vote for his candidate?
No, because of Eleka, because of Fayemi, before tenure in Ekiti State. He said if we win for a second time for Ekiti State, we want to cancel Okada. But Fayose came. He said if now only Ekiti, even he can cancel Okada. Fayose Okada in Ekiti State. Then reasons that we are all Okada in Ekiti State, we are ready to support it. We are ready to vote for Eleka for in Ekiti State.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I have with me the state deputy governor and the PDP governorship flag bearer in the July 14 governorship. It's coming up this Saturday. Now, tell us, with this rally, what are the chances of PDP in the election?
Well, if you look at what is happening today, the people of the Okada riders, the drivers, whether the National Union of Road Transport Workers or the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria and the other affiliated bodies, they have come here today to speak all they want is a government that will respect their people. They have come to speak with one voice that they want a government that will not harass or intimidate them. They only find that in the PDP government. In other words, they are here to support the cause of Kola Olusola Eleka for governor in Ekiti State come July 14. And exactly that is what you have seen. The people, they have expressed that in their words, and definitely they are going to bring that to pass come July 14.
So how will you charge encourage the people to sustain this tempo of support for your government?
During election, there are bound to be intimidation, harassment, as the opposition are already promising. But our governor has shagged them already. According to the scripture, say, be strong and be of good courage. So the people strong and be of good courage, stand by their votes. Face whoever wants to defraud them, and you can be rest assured that the power of the people is greater than those of us in power. And also, by the fact that we are daily connected to the people, to the masses, definitely, even when I become governor, by the grace of God, this relationship will still continue. We care about them, we listen to them. When they have problems, they come to us. So it is a robust relationship that we are going to sustain by God's grace.
Yes, I listened to some of them, and they came up with some requests, some expectations that if you become the governor of Ekiti State, that they want to be part, they want to partner with government, they want, special assistance with them, and that they want the Ministry of Transportation to be careful stand on its own. What are your reactions to some of these expectations?
Well, they are good requests and good expectations. But whatever we can do within what is available and within what is possible.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Olúṣọlá bá yọ lókè ẹ pariwo tẹ́lẹ̀ kàwá yọ lókè Ṣọlá bá yọ lókè ẹ pariwo. Oya pàdé mi follow the winner tẹ̀lé PDP tó ṣù ọ́ ẹ má tẹ̀lé àwọn olùsàkíyèsí zero ọjọ́ sí tó máa gbà mí sí. Follow the winner o ẹgbẹ́ PDP gangan pàdé mi follow the winner tẹ̀lé PDP tó ṣù ọ́.
It's still your station of choice, Africa Independent Television, AIT. We are live from Adi State, Southwest Nigeria. It is a live broadcast of the rally by commercial drivers and motorcyclists in Ekiti State in support of the People's Democratic and its governorship candidate, Professor Kolapo Olushola Eleka. Their union leaders, while delivering their goodwill messages, expressed their resolve to vote for Eleka, saying no amount of intimidation and them come this Saturday, July 14. They also said they have come to the government house with their vehicles and motorcycles to take shield in order to avoid confrontation or clash with the rally of the APC flag bearer Kayode Fayemi, which is ongoing in town. Now, the governorship candidate Olushola Eleka, they encouraged their members to obtain their permanent voter cards. Then they also tabled their expectation for the governor that if PDP is voted into power, the unions say they want to partner with government. They want Ministry of Transportation to be carved out from the Ministry of Works and Transportation in the state to make it stand on its own. Assistants in the sector to be appointed from amongst them. All right. Another.
Torí èpè ni ó pẹ̀rú, èpè ni ó pèlè, ilẹ̀ dídà ni ó pọ̀rẹ́ o. Alájọbí ni ó pẹ̀ ní tó bá ṣe bí. Ọ̀rẹ́ má dà mí o, ọ̀rẹ́ má dà mí o.
We have another party leader and things here. She wants to speak with us. She is Senator Biodun Olujimi. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, thank you.
With this rally, how will this rally translate to electoral victory for PDP in the governorship?
An impromptu thing. What happened is that the NURTW and the road transport employers decided they did not want to be part of the violence that usually characterizes the rallies of the SOCO, and asked that they could keep their vehicles and themselves under shelter so that they are not arrested or anything untoward happens to them. So the governor vehicles and hide here until after the rally was over. and also in the 16 local governments. And, if that happens, something needs to happen too. We need to speak to. It's only because they believe in the government, they believe in the PDP, they believe in the candidate of the PDP. That is why they sought Soko. That is why they have kept their things here. They are committed to the ideals of the PDP, and they will come July the 14th vote for our candidates, the candidate of. They will do that. One, the South Senatorial District has been deprived for very long. For 22 years, the governorship has eluded us. For the first time, we have picked somebody from Senatorial District. Two, we have picked an intellectual who has been part of the system and has been able to lift education, which is the bedrock of Ekiti, to a mark that anyone will be able to build on. And when you give the person who knows how to do it a chance, he will do it better. Three, he is a new person, a politician. So he's likely, and we are assuring everyone that he would be apolitical, will do everything to satisfy everybody, and will be able to do things beyond many people. We have two young men, and we were the ones that brought up the bill of not too young to run. With the not too young to run, Ekiti is blazing the trail. We now know that young people can also do very well in governance, and this is their chance. This is the chance of Ekiti South. This is the chance of intellectuals. This is the chance of the people of Ekiti, where it is wrong and what can be done to alleviate the problems.
Saturday's election, how will you charge the people to conduct themselves, especially Katrina?
Well, we have had all sorts of stories of what they will do with the enhanced card reader. I believe that we will not be violent. There is no, and we have told our people not to be violent. It will be a non-violent election. But at the same time, our people must be told that not everybody will be able to vote. That should not happen. Like I said before, INEC should be an umpire, an unbiased umpire. Unless they do that, they will ruin their names. This election will make, and that will be told in the history henceforth. And the best thing they can do is to ensure that that election is free and fair. We are not asking for help. We are saying let the votes count. Let the people vote according to their will.
All right. As we have the Ekiti State Governor in the person of Ayodele Fayose here, who is here to speak with us. So how will this rally translate to electoral victory for the PDP?
Well, it is obvious. The whole world knows that we are very popular. We are on ground. The statement we made alone by our mega rally says it all. Beyond that, we have done people-oriented programs, and that is why you can see a rally like this strictly the initiative of drivers, NURTW, national roads, Okada riders, Ajay Guru and all. That shows the kind of level we have brought ourselves as leaders of a people. Today the drivers demonstrated that they are with this government. The unions demonstrated it by withdrawing their services. That is a statement for the election. Elites, I want to assure you that they will speak again. They spoke in 2014. They will speak again this Saturday, 14th of July. And they will bring Professor Kolapo Olushola as the next governor of the state.
All right, sir. I know you are very optimistic and confident about this election. Yet, PDP in this election, considering the opposition.
I just said it to you. The opposition are into thuggery. They are doing what we thought we had gone past. You can imagine in the history of Nigeria, an entity, a government, the government house gates were sealed. One, when they saw the growing crowd in the government house, they had to come and seal the government house gate from Fajuyi end, from the old governors, from the house of the deputy governor. That is not patriotic at all. That makes them cheap. That shows they're afraid. I have never seen it, and it's still strange to me. It is obvious that these people are taking us backward, and we are under siege here. We can and operate within ambits of our rights. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom. What are they afraid of? These people had made up their mind. Okada riders will never vote for Fayemi. Tell us about 10,000, they will not vote for him. Teachers will never vote for him. Workers will never vote for him. Go and find out very well. And beyond it all, the people have seen what we have done. He will speak for us.
Okay, now the first security experience today with the blocking of the government house gate and all of that. So how will you charge the people to conduct themselves in the election?
You see, if I didn't manage the people well, this is in the state today. They've always said they have federal might, but we have the might of the people and the might of God. The Lord will stand up for us in this election. The Bible says it's not of him that willeth, of God that showeth mercy. This battle is not for us, but it's for the Lord. These people massively. If you go to the stadium now, all the people there largely are hired crowd from different states around us. They believe in federal might, but the Lord will pass through this land and bring them to shame.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I want the international community to take note of this. Observers. They brought in from Kogi, from Ondo State. That in most of the hotels, the agenda is to destroy so many things in the course of the election. To make sure that the election does not go on smoothly. They have talks everywhere. When you are popular, what do you need talks for? A campaign is been one shooting or the other. That is not the spirit. And we want to plead with the observers that they should be everywhere. Particularly Ado Ekiti and Ikere. They said they'll be paper or the other in Ondo State Government House. For me, I keep my fingers crossed. But I will talk to Ekiti people tonight. I will update them. But as for this election, we have made history again. Like I said, I was the first to be elected 2 incumbent governors at 2 different attempts. I am the first Ekiti son to be governor here twice. If anyone wants to copy me, it won't work. We carry these things in our body. We carry the grace in our body. I will be the first Ekiti son again to have a successor in the same party.
All right, thank you so much, Your Excellency, for speaking with us.
Thank you.
You have been watching the live telecast of the rally by commercial drivers and motorcyclists in Ekiti State in support of the PDP and its governorship candidate, Professor Kolapo Eleka. On this note, on behalf of the entire crew, we say thank you for staying with us. We now hand you over to Abuja Studios for the normal programming. I'm Igbagboyemi Afolabi. God bless.
A journey of discovery. A unique opportunity to get in touch with unspoiled nature. Enjoy your time in a place that offers something for everyone. A land of beautiful contrasts. An experience you won't forget. discover fascinating Nigeria. Welcome to Abuja, the capital of the country. Here you will discover Nigeria's while enjoying the many first-rate hospitality and step into the exciting city of Lagos, a place Big Apple. The city is and some of the best shops and restaurants. Enjoy the unique nightlife and thriving music in one of the most vibrant cities on earth. State of Akwa Ibom. Enjoy the finest hospitality at Le Méridien Hotel and Golf Resort. 18 holes and its unique location in the middle of the jungle will ensure a lifetime of memories. Discover the beautiful city of California, southeast country.
Enter the Zenith. (234) Russia. Of 2 again.
Only be through rough to fall to the farmers.
Is one.
To help them make a profit. Agroecology.
To stand behind Morocco, Nigeria, Tunisia, and Senegal. 2018 FIFA World Cup Russia.
Watch 32 matches free by Kwese Free Sports, official free-to-air broadcaster of the FIFA World Cup Russia 2018. Sponsor FIFA World Cup, an official soft drink sponsor of the Nigerian. Official beer sponsor of the Nigerian.
For the fan.
We need to build less expensive houses.
Home ownership is a right.
It's not a privilege.
Government must repeat what it's doing in agriculture, in the area of housing.
Looking at the Nigerian housing sector, what do you think are the challenges facing the sector?
My take-home money, whatever they give is 18,000 closed. So how do I get money to pay for the house?
Housing Development is a weekly program that focuses on the housing sector, be it mortgage, rental, properties for sale, interior decor, real estate. We've got all the information on this program.
This is Moneyline with Nancy, and I am Nancy in Nigeria. You get up-to-the-minute information on business, finance, and economic.
Does this administration sleep?
Well, we don't sleep to the extent that we're trying to solve the problem.
Is it not just about that poverty has really eaten deep into the fabric of our system?
Decisions of monetary policy will be reflected in whatever direction that we think is good for Nigeria and for Nigerians.
Because we've got to keep you up to speed with what's happening in the world of business and economy. So if you want to know what it's about, to find out, tell a friend to tell a friend. I am Nancy Nnaji.
Nigeria right now digs deep. First, to identify major problems and carefully outline ways and means of changing the narratives. It is immediate. It is right now. Join me as I bring on board participants, discussants, as we chisel out ways forward. Nigeria right now, incisive, constructive, informative. Nigeria right now, poised to engender patriotism.
Let us see how blessed it looks now and what she looked like before now. God has done it again.
Here again in National Hospital, today actually is a very special day in my life. He almost lost hope, but today he has hope.
You may not understand how touched I am in what you're doing.
You're not paying anything in the hospital. Transfer 25,000. So this is 300,000. They'll give you receipts so that the boy can continue his treatment.
Close to $4 billion US back to the coffers of government in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
That every youth corps member here that is undergoing this program should be provided with health insurance.
It is a known fact, Mr. President, that the economy of any country in a state of war, be it civil war, be it external war, is bound to have a serious problem, either recession or total collapse.
UNESCO conducted a research that has shown that 25% of children can barely speak their indigenous language. And if this trend is not checked, these languages will definitely go extinct.
Thanks for staying with us on this week's edition of Inside the Parliament, designed to bring you happenings in the National Assembly and the 36 state houses of assembly. My name is Uju Ejeye. Today, our focus will be on the state and community police. The call has become stronger in the wake of growing security challenges in Nigeria. Last week, the Senate reached a resolution to amend the 1999 Constitution instituting state and community police. The Senate therefore mandated the Committee on Review of the Constitution chaired by the Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu, to within 2 weeks present a bill seeking to establish state and community police in the country. Worried about the spate of killings by suspected herdsmen in Baba, Nasarawa, Adamawa and Kogi states, as well as mindless killings in Zamfara state, the National Assembly had in April organized a National Security Summit aimed at finding lasting solutions to the problem. Last week, the Senate received and adopted 20 recommendations from the Committee on Security. Surprisingly, the recommendations failed to include the demand for state and community police. Instead, the summit recommended, amongst others, that there is a need to isolate current security challenges and shape narrow political interests and ethno-religious sentiments. It also recommended that political office holders and all sources of influence should restrain tendencies to further complicate challenges. The summit asked that basic structure in the management of national security be revisited by the presidency to address weaknesses in coordination, collaboration, and synergy. Clear lines of authority and persons trusted with responsibility for national security be held accountable. Unhealthy rivalry and competition, which currently characterizes relations between key security agencies and officers, must be eliminated immediately. Assets are dangerously stretched by current security challenges. And there is the need to increase the size of the Nigeria police, the military, and other paramilitary agencies. Recruitment, training, and by suitability and other professional considerations. Funding of security assets should be improved, while levels of accountability on the part of the military, police, and other agencies should be strictly enforced. To agree that collaboration between federal security and law and order agencies and subnational outfits needs to be re-examined in the context of demands for improved security and imperative of reducing exposure of citizens. That would be our talking point on the program today, and I have with me in the studio an honorable member from Bayelsa State of Fongo. You're welcome to the program. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we bring you an interview with the chairperson of that ad hoc committee on national security of by the Nigerian. Meanwhile, we take a break.
As you are aware, we have so many security breaches across the country, and we believe that even though our security agencies are trying their best, but there are some definite flaws and loopholes in the way and manner the operations take place, because otherwise we would not have such so much breaches. So the essence and significance of that resolution is to urge the arm of government to review the security architecture of the country. Look at individual security agencies, look at the police, how is the police constituted and their operational dispositions, and even the military. You look at how the military works and what the security agencies and our intelligence agencies as well, because they are supposed to really be working in synergy. They are supposed to be cooperating, they are supposed to be coordinating for maximum results, which at the moment it's not like that, because during the summit on the security of the country that the Senate, through our ad hoc committee, hosted, we received presentations from the security, some of the security agencies, indicating that there is very low, in some cases, no coordination between them, and this is really a flaw and a deficit in the way and manner that we can achieve efficiency and effectiveness in our fight against the insecurity that faces us on the face. So we believe that there is need for a system in the country, the security system in the country, before we even think of giving them more resources. Of course, that is about the infrastructure. After looking at the architecture, then you look at their needs. Definitely our security are working under very tight situations because we have not been able to give them everything they need to do their work. Even though we are trying as a government, as an administration, to provide more, but we need to do more, and I'm sure that that will enhance their capacity so long as the security architecture is properly addressed and reformed. The National Assembly and the executive arm of government must work together in this respect, like in many others. And I'm sure that at this time the executive are working in unity, because this security situation has brought us together. And I believe that whatever the executive will request in order to address the security challenges that we face will be approved by the National Assembly. That is what we mean by that resolution. And in one example, the National Assembly must go the whole hog to provide legislation in support of the infrastructure as well as in support of the architecture to help the executive. So the executive can only maybe initiate or come up with a policy, but maybe where security needs some legislation to make it more elaborate and possibly long tenured, then maybe someone coming to wish it away, that legislation in support of the executive arm of government. But on the whole, the security architecture of this country needs to be properly looked into, and I believe that if we do that and we get the security architecture right, then we should be able to see value for money, that when we fund the improved or reformed security architecture in Nigeria, the capacity and the efficiency of our security agencies will improve tremendously.
All right, you just had the chairperson of that Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Security, Ahmed Lawan, the House leader himself. And you had some of the recommendations. And I'm going to be asking Honorable Henry Ofongo, and of course, let me also let you know that guest is around now. That's talking about Honorable Sam Oneibo. He is of the PDP Abia State. You're welcome to the program. So, Honorable Ofongo, are you not surprised that with the current agitation for state police, the Senate silence on that aspect of our security challenges? You understand the Vice President was the first person to actually kickstart the current agitation, also concurred, and a lot of people are beginning to have a rethink. What do you make of that?
Well, thank you very much. I think, in the first place, I would say the Senate, at least they've really tried. They've tried on their own to come out with their recommendations based on the present security challenges that are going on in the country right now. I think, if they are silent on the issue of state police, for me it's not surprising, because their job, the issues of state police was still being debated amongst Nigerians, while others were saying that it wasn't necessary, the country was not ripe enough to have state police. There are also those who have the view that this is even overdue. And I think, they being silent on it, as at the time they presented their report, is on that, reason. But I think by this time, if they were submitting this report by this time, those who were opposed to state police that are now keen in for the formation of state police, I think the report would have been different.
This was just last week that the report was submitted.
Yes,
to
even
the
in the report,
Senate.
most of the things were already agreed upon at that committee stage
before they went on recess.
Exactly. So,
all right, Honorable Oneibo, what do you make of the fact that with a lot of beautiful recommendations, but omitted the aspect of the renewed calls for state police and, of course, community policing? Does this not tell you that is not yet a free ride should this bill be reintroduced?
Well, thank you very much indeed. Well, as my colleague just said, before a report is presented, it goes through several processes and it takes a while. But I do not think that we have also forgotten in a hurry. It was the same Senate just about 2 weeks or so ago that debated and actually resolved that we should go the way of having a state police. So it is in that light that I would conclude that perhaps the report had been written long before that debate took place, and they didn't have to go back and start amending, because that's not the way we do it in the parliament.
So if this bill is reintroduced, do you really see it making it, or would the same fate that befell last year during the constitution review also befall it this time around?
Well, I believe strongly that this time it will go through, because last assembly, I think the 7th assembly, when we went for the constitutional review, I personally was even trying to convince my people to, but as at then, people just had that mentality of just only one reason for not agreeing to it, that state governors will abuse it. But I think today, looking at the present security challenges and the spate of killings going on everywhere, they've seen the need for state police. Because in the first place, I would even want to say that the issue of state police is not even new to us as Nigerians. It's just that in modern day parlance, they now look at it as if it is a new thing. But let us not forget the fact that there had been the native authority police, which was even closer to the people, which dealt more with intelligence gathering in order to even forestall crimes before they are even committed. Before the Nigerian police was even formed, and even at that, the native authority police was still there till the military took over and then unitarized everything. So I think this time around, people have seen the need for it, of the persons that were against state police as at that time have now agreed to it, and I believe we should even go further after this time to even get up to the level of having the local government police as we have county police. So
is the House working towards this now? Because the Senate has already directed its Committee on Constitution Review to come up to rework the bill and re-present it. Let me ask Onibo, is that also happening in the House of Reps?
In the House of Reps, and in fact, the day this was debated, I think majority of the people who spoke, I do not recall of any divergent view anyway, spoke in favor of having state police. And of course, the Constitution is clear on this matter, because the primary purpose of having a state or having a government is to secure, to provide for the people. And when that is missing, then you are talking about a society where it now becomes a contradiction in terms, because a society is a place where you have these things, life is secure, people are protected, you can go about your business, live your life happily. But in the situation where people are killed, maimed, and nobody is prepared perhaps to take responsibility or to step in and arrest such a situation, it means we are sliding. So the reason why the parliament is still number one arm of government is that at situations, at times like this, the parliament has a responsibility to intervene, to enact laws to help for proper governance of the society. And property is the principal reason why you have a government.
So what key ingredients would you expect to bring into the reworked bill on?
Well, I think the first thing we have to do is to revisit the Constitution, particularly Section 214, which states that there will be the Nigerian police force, and after that there shouldn't be any other police formation. So when we go to those areas, and then making sure that there should be a provision, even if we have the Nigerian police, that doesn't say, stop us from forming the state police. And then Another area which I know that is very, the people, those who are, having the mandate of working on the bill, they are working on it, and those key areas are the areas that we have to look at, then, the control mechanism is very important. I think the National Assembly have to come up with, laws that will make sure that, even when the state abused,
that the fears of many are not confirmed.
Because, while, people are giving reasons that because, presently the method of appointment of the IG has to go through, the service council and for the president to appoint. But in most cases, if you look at it, you find out that it's not only about this administration. In most cases, you see that they will appoint somebody in acting capacity, then before you know it, they are saying, okay, confirm. So in most cases, it does suppose as stated in the Constitution. So we look at those areas also. Then I'm looking at it that, we can look at the way, the judiciary is formed, right from the federal to the state level,
the structure.
They are all structured like the state judicial, yes. Council. Then, so those ones who have to guide, whoever that is going to be the head of the police in the states. What am I trying to say in essence is that, you just can't get up and say, maybe the governor will just get up and pick anybody and make him the commissioner of police or the head of the police in the state. It has
kind of regulation.
Yeah, so those kind of bodies have to be, formed. That's I'm likening it to the way the judiciary carries out its own methods of appointment of judges and all that. And they have to look at even improving more than that to see how we can even make it in a way that the appointment and removal cannot just be on the whims and caprices of the governor or the president per se.
Would that not whittle the power and the essence of coming up with?
No, it will not. It will not, because let me give you an example. I could remember when the Inspector General of Police was invited by the Senate, and he refused to appear. Then I was at a conference in the U.S. and a friend of mine who is also in the Congress, there was like, so you mean they can invite the police chiefs? Wouldn't happen here. So I tried to know why. You find out that in the American Constitution, for the fact that appointments are being confirmed by the legislature, they can equally impeach any civil officer. They can impeach. So if you say you don't want to come to answer calls when there are problems around that need to come, of course they will commence impeachment proceedings on you, because the same way they confirm you is the same way
they have the power.
They have the power to impeach. That is why they don't, once problems come, they resign instead of going through that process.
Wow. All right, a lot of people have identified some of the problems hampering the efficiency of the Nigeria police, as including funding and the lack of facilities to work with. Now, coming down to the issue, not say that the same problems may rear its head again, considering it's the same society and the same political leaders.
Well, thank you very much. When you want to run a system and get positive results on the basic things you have to put in place, my colleague was talking about the appointment of the IG. If you check the rules in this Police Service Commission, you would find that apart from the IG, the Police Service Commission has power, discipline, any other person below the IG. The question then arises, who appoints the IG? The President. How does the President appoint the IG? Does he require confirmation from the Senate? And things like that. So if you study of how you want to run a system, that's the result, that's the way you get the result at the end of the day.
And the facilities?
Exactly. I'm coming to the resources and funds. The reason I'm saying this is because, you see, if you check within the revenue, the issues of revenue, for instance, right now, the Federation Account Allocation Committee is in quagmire. We are fighting or struggling with the NNPC. That's not the way it should be, and because of that, most organizations have not been paid. So if you structure things to relieve, to create the enabling environment for these other segments of the society, apart from the nation, to access their resources, use them to run their system. One will see a situation where we are able to cater for all these things. And of course, the law that is being proposed is that it's not compulsory that you must have a state or community police. If you federal police is doing it for you, very well, you go ahead with that. What am I saying? If you want to establish a state or community police, you have to look at your resources, look at what you have, and then set, put in place the structure through which you can control these things, because it's done everywhere. You talked about the Judiciary Service Commission. We also have the federal.
All right, thank you so much. We have totally run out of time. I wish we had more time, but we should have more discussions on this. But let me thank you for coming on the program today. Honorable member of Nigeria's House of Representatives from Bayelsa State, and Honorable Sam Onibo, a member of the House also from Abia State. Thank you for coming on the program. And that's all we can take on this week's edition of Inside the Parliament. Join us same time next week for another Red JE. Thanks for staying with us.
Every dollar out of this close to $4 billion must be returned back to the coffers of government in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost.
That every member, at least for the 1 year that he's undergoing this program, should be provided with health insurance.
It is a known fact, Mr. President, that the economy of any country
The Signature Show with Vin Martin Obiora Ilo, showing on AIT, Sundays 2 p.m.
Government's effort in the non-oil sector have led to the slight improvement in the country's gross domestic product, GDP growth in the last quarter. Though some have argued that the growth as captured in the recent report by the NBS is not too significant, it reveals the efforts to diversify by the Buhari-led administration is yielding results. Today, we are not limiting ourselves to the reason for diversification into other non-oil sector like agriculture at the occupational safety of those in the agricultural sector. An estimated 1.3 billion workers are engaged in agricultural production world, represents half of the total world labor force, and almost 60% of them are in developing countries. As the calls by Nigerians and government at both federal and state levels to invest more on agriculture, there is the need to ask how much we know about occupational hazards in agriculture with a view of raising awareness of hazards and risk associated with agriculture. Our aim ultimately is to encourage governments, employers, and workers to cooperate with accidents and diseases while making it a safe sector as much as possible. Still, in our bouquet for today, on your program Policy on Track, is an interview I had with a farmer, Bode Oyedele. There are certain activities in the agricultural sector. He says for the country to exit subsistence farming, more enlightenment should be carried out by extension agents. My name is Mo Bonekam. Let's run you through stories making rounds in the world of work in the last 1 week. Despite warnings by the Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, that the United Labour Congress, ULC, is yet to be recognized as a federation of trade unions in Nigeria, the group of workers still called unions as tools. The effect of the strike was hardly noticeable, though the group says the effect will be felt with passing days.
Chris Ngige warned the ULC that the ultimatum by the group to shut down the aviation, electricity and oil and gas sector of the Trade Union Act. Ngige warned the government will not fold her hands and allow any group of persons take laws into their hands.
For the avoidance of doubt, and allow any group of persons to take the law into their hands by brazenly threatening to commit economic sabotage by shutting down essential services, gas, power, energy, and aviation sectors. Members of the various trade unions who are sympathetic to the ULC mentioned in their various press statements in these sectors that I have named are advised to go about their duties in the interest of a peaceful.
The two labor centers, that is, the NLC and TUC, have described the actions of this group of workers as an attempt to blackmail the Federal Ministry of Labour to obtain registration.
Trade union law prohibits any group that is not registered as a trade union indulge in exercising the powers of a labor center or a federation.
The main promoters of the so-called new federation are individuals from Nwe and Nupeng. Both are affiliates of the NLC. But the extant law has passed just a few years ago. They cannot form.
Says promoters of ULC are individuals from the Electricity Union and Nupeng, both of which are affiliates of the NLC.
The National Association of Resident Doctors suspended its 10-day strike on September 14, 2017. Reports show that the decision was reached following appeals from the federal government that more time be given to enable it meet the demand. However, the union leaders say there would be a review of the situation within 2 weeks to determine how far government had gone to honor its agreement with the association. While the strike lasted, Health Minister Professor Isaac Adewale directed who are medical doctors to take charge as ad hoc doctors in the federal hospitals. In spite of the suspension by the resident doctors, health workers have issued a 7-day notice of strike to begin on Wednesday, September 20. Joint Health Workers Union, Josiah Biobelemoye, said the court judgment of 2013 is yet to be implemented by government.
The unions say in 2012 agreements were reached on some of its demands and others not agreed. National Industrial Court. A key issue in court was the demand by health workers to skip level 10 of the Consolidated Health Salary Structure, CONHES 10. In 2013, however, the court passed judgment in favor of the workers, but they say up until now, government has not paid the arrears of the skipping. The workers argued that the Association of Resident Doctors over similar issues.
The Federal Ministry of Health
has been frustrating the implementation of the court judgments by introducing same-scale promotion. For instance, when members are promoted from CONS 9 to 11, at subsequent promotions, they will be promoted from CONS 11 to CONS 11. This is totally...
Other issues of concern to the workers include the abolition of scale-to-scale promotions, the payment of outstanding promotion arrears, and the autonomy for teaching and specialist hospitals. The review of retirement age from 60 to 65 years, as done for the tertiary education sector, is another demand of the health workers.
An estimated 1.3 billion workers are engaged in agricultural production worldwide, are in the industrialized world, while almost 60% of these workers are in developing countries. A great majority of agricultural workers which is the most densely populated region of the world. Available data shows that the distribution of agricultural workers in the world is proportional to the incidence of poverty. It is a known fact is greater in rural areas. Agriculture, specifically farming, remains a hazardous industry, and farmers worldwide remain at high risk of work-related injuries and diseases.
The number of people employed varies widely on a per-country basis, ranging from 2% in countries like the US and Canada to over 80% in many African nations. More than 40% of the world's agricultural population is concentrated in China and more than 20% in India. Agriculture is the largest sector for female employment in many countries, especially Africa and Asia. It accounts for approximately 70% of child labor worldwide. The late Obafemi Awolowo developed the Western region depending on proceeds from cocoa, palm oil, and coffee. Looking at the agriculture across Nigeria, the country tends to gain more if there is more investment in agriculture. Some argue that agriculture is the only medium that can collectively transform the Nigerian economy and have direct bearing on the lives of its citizens, most of whom depend on farming for survival. As these campaigns increase, it is pertinent to reiterate that agriculture is one of the most hazardous occupations worldwide, and of pesticides and other agrochemicals has raised the risk.
According to a research conducted by the ILO on hazardous jobs, agriculture is one of the 3 most dangerous sectors in which to work, with the other 2 being constructions and mining. The ILO research further revealed that out of the total 335,000 fatal workplace accidents that occur worldwide each year, about 170,000, slightly more than half of the total, involve workers engaged in agricultural activities. The outcome of a field research conducted by the Management Services Office of the Head of Service of the Federation in some selected states after the submission of the demand for hazard allowance by EU in 2009 revealed that on comparative analysis with other sectors, workers in the agricultural sector encounter more hazard in the course of discharging their duties.
Agricultural work involves multiple tasks and multiple and seasonal basis. Most of the tasks are carried out in the open air, exposing the workers to climatic conditions. The type of working postures and contact with animals and plants the workers are exposed to.
The hazard we are talking about are in different form and in different degree. Machete cutting, snake biting are some hazard in one quarters, chemical reaction are some on other quarters, and even those in the plant when they are trying to really tap the robbers and so many other things. Those are the type of hazard we are talking about. But the point is this: the hazard is not sometimes, but why we are looking for government to assist paying some amount to them is that the hazard is not a thing that you can even see a day and get it work a day. It's a continuum thing that before they can treat the person, it takes a long time. But if he has the money on his own to cater for his health, sometimes he will do.
We have many hazards. One, in the area of heavy equipment, the user, and even our extension officers, the agric officers that are going to the field, they can be attacked by reptiles, wild animal, and some other. You know, our field officer, they need to go to the field. They have problem on the farm, so in that area they can be attacked by the wild animal and some other things.
Those of us in the fishery department, there's an hazard of going on the IC. Now those of us, those workers are the department of tractor operation. Those are the tractor to work on the farm. Despite putting all the gadgets and everything on the farm, there's an hazard maybe on the road, on the tractor working on the place. There may be the gully on the track, I feel something like that. These are just dangers that can occur. And there are other aspects of those who are spreading chemicals to this area. That's why putting all the chemicals on their body. There's a question whereby things are it's just an hazard. They did a lot of time in the particular place. It depends on the partner, which there are various ways of working in the particular that can affect us.
We will work in the field, on the field at times. We are looking for vehicles along the road. How about to attack us? So these are the things. They snatch away our phones, our money, and everything. But we find a way to find a way ourselves to the office.
In Nigeria, the reporting and compensation system sector of certain categories of workers.
We convene with every reasonable that actually our members in these ministries are entitled for the hazard. It was on the premises that they all come together jointly and sign a joint memo, which was sent to the office of Mr. President before he left. But up till now, as I speak to you now, when Buhari took over, we wrote a kind of reminder to him. Not only that, we also reported the issue to our mother ministry, our mother union, which is NSC. The NSC also wrote a letter, a kind of a reminder, push word. That is why we have to come back to one of our organizations that we are affiliated to. So if this thing, all these processes, we did not get a success, then the only thing is to strike action. I think that's the language that the government actually listens to labor leaders.
We wish to note that the Agricultural and Allied Employee Unions of Nigeria, has for the past 15 years agitated for the implementation of the hazard allowance without success. While professionals in EUN have the hazard allowance, their counterpart in the livestock and veterinary subsector of agriculture, who are incidentally categorized as health workers, have for long been enjoying negotiated by Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, MEUN. It is important at this juncture to point out that the demand for the implementation of hazard allowance for professionals and other workers in the agricultural, not on the basis of penchant for allowance, but rather on the realistic appreciations of occupational dangers workers in the sector come across on day-to-day.
In order to guarantee sustainable agricultural development in the administration, workers in the sector should have access to adequate conditions, health, and welfare.
Agriculture in the because of the advent of technology and other infrastructures. Prior to this period, farmers merely engage in subsistence farming to provide food for their family, while very little is available in the markets. As far as commercial farming, there is the need to improve on storage and processing. Good road network is also important so that harvested crops can be transported. I sat down in an interview with a farmer in Ekpe in Lagos State, Bode Oyedele. He told me that for the traditional farmers to exit subsistence farming in large scale so as to increase their produce, these farmers need more enlightenment by extension agents. Here is the interview. Agric is being canvassed as a sector that will pass. How true is this, given the fact that the price of crude oil is plummeting every time? Do you believe in this theory that some people are canvassing?
Thank you very much. Agriculture had ruled the economy before the advent of the oil. That had always been the sector that had been contributing to our national income. Those days of the granite pyramid in the north, the cocoa in the western region, then the coal in the eastern region. But at the advent of oil, people had not abandoned agriculture to go after the oil. But now that we oil, and also the militancy that has even affected the production, so we now have to go back to the farm. Definitely we have to go to the farm, back to the farm. For those that have said agriculture is the only one that is the only system.
Nigerians are still engaged in subsistence farming, which some people call bend down farming. How long will it take us to exit this form of farming, mechanized farming or commercial farming?
The figure released by the National Bureau of Statistics confirmed that the only way out of our recession, of the downward trend in production, in the GDP, is for us to be serious with agriculture. So now, even if you say the figure can still do better, it is minimal because we have not gone on a full-scale mechanized agriculture. So what it takes for mechanized agriculture, certain activities like the mechanization. So the peasant farmers cannot be able to afford what it takes to have tractors, harrowers, plants. Now find that the government is getting this equipment and selling or leasing out to farmers at subsidized prices. And at the end of the farming season, bumper effects in these areas. You can see before we were importing rice, 100% importation of rice. But with the government now saying, let us go back to our farm. You can see what is happening in Kebbi. And you can even see the arrangement between Lagos and government. So the importation of rice has dropped drastically now. And the foreign exchange that is being used to import this rice is now being free services or that sector.
Okay, you want to share with us some of the problems militating against us, getting into that position? Because it's like forever we've been practicing, this bend down system.
American government, the American subsidize heavily agriculture. This agriculture must be heavily subsidized. Like you said, cutlasses agriculture. It's not that kind of agriculture now. Now we're talking about agriculture now that farmers must be able to get fertilizer and apply the improved seedlings. If you have fertilizer, in those days what our fathers used to do is what you call crop rotation, plant shifting. If I planted tomato this year in this place now, so I now move to another area. But where is the land? So, but this fertilizer, not all the farmers can be able to giving out fertilizer at subsidized rate. In collaboration with the state under this years, in which the federal government to the farmers will be able to use it. But what we're just saying is that the rate is sufficient.
The International Labour Organization talks of total world labor force, yet it is one of the most hazardous sector. Many agri workers suffer occupational health. How can this be minimized? If not,
we must be proactive. When we are doing subsistence farming, you might not realize this. But we are not talking of subsidy. we're talking of mechanized agriculture. By outside, you are using agrochemicals. So when you are using agrochemicals, the people applying it, working in the farm using it, must at least use nose guard, at least use socks that will protect them from the hazard of these agrochemicals. There should be a public enlightenment now that goes with this mechanization. The federal government and the state government are now giving out. And that is the work of the extension agents. The extension agents must be able to come to the farm, educate them that when any the gadgets, the protective gadgets that will protect the farmers also. And it is more of extension services now. The extension agents must be met.
Thank you very much, sir, for coming on to Policy on Track.
My pleasure.
Taking a better direction, creating jobs and opportunities for entrepreneurs. But the issue of health and safety of workers that will your contributions and comments. Use any of our social media platform on your screen.
What's the magic word?
Magic. My friend, will you buy this and take it to the cave?
Any fine girl?
Yes.
Because saying you're getting kilo. I don't know. All the food wey she dey chop sef, she no even fat. Na so long she.
This night was precipitated, but it deteriorated.
Oh no, not again! Shut up! You moron! Whoa, how dare you! Hey! Le bâton! Le bâton!
Would you take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife? Yes, I do. Would you take this man to be your lawful wedded husband?
Yes, I do.
This is Spice the Marriage Show, a platform where we discuss everything relationship and marriage. Discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of relationships and how to fix
it. People are beginning to forget the resurrection. Even
1,000 jeeps instead of a road repair program is illogical, as are a plethora of boreholes instead of
more evenly. Everybody.
The era of receiving aid, grants, handouts, it's over.
You can only depend on tax matters for the most insightful and incisive treatment.
In my program, I bring the studio to the street and interact with everyday Nigerians, taking their worries, their concerns, their questions. His Excellency in Nyesom Wike, Governor Okezie Victor Ikpeazu, the Executive Governor, the policies and objectives of key stakeholders in the political and impact trickles down to the poorest of the poor in our society.
These people where they have, most of them, their brain don't work.
My goal is to dig deep and find the truth, then give meaning, understanding, and solution to it.
Last of the 12 boys and their coach trapped in Thai cave rejoined. Torrential rain and landslide kill about 100. And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in California to promote Nigeria's investment drive. This is the World News on Air. The last of 12 boys and their coach trapped in a Thai cave are rescued after a risky 3-day operation. Island on a grueling, hazardous mission to rescue those people still trapped inside. They extracted a 9th boy on Tuesday with unconfirmed reports of 2 more. The Thai Navy confirmed 1 child and an adult remains to be rescued, bringing to a close an epic operation marred by 1 dive. Said to be in good. The group, a football team, had got third after heavy rains caused flooding. After they were found by divers last week, huddled in darkness on a ledge and to get them out before the weather deteriorated even further. The boys evacuated have undergone X-rays and blood tests, and they will remain under observation in hospital for at least 7. No fewer than 141 people are now known to have died in floods and landslides. It is the highest death toll caused by rainfall that Japan has seen in more than 3 decades. Rescuers are now digging through mud and rubble in a race to find survivors, as about 2 million people have been evacuated from the region after rivers burst their banks. Authorities have opened up school halls and gymnasiums to those who have been displaced by the rain. Zo Abe has cancelled an overseas trip to deal with the flood crisis. More than 70,000 rescue workers, including the fire service and the army. U.S. President Donald Trump has nominated Brett Kavanaugh for the Supreme Court, setting the stage for a bruising confirmation battle. In a primetime announcement, President Trump praised his pick as a brilliant jurist. The nominee, a District of Columbia Appeals Court judge, is a former advisor to ex-President George Bush. This is Trump's second Supreme Court appointment, potentially allowing him to shape the U.S. for a generation. The president said Judge Kavanaugh has impeccable credentials and a proven commitment to equal justice under the law. Kavanaugh has served since 2006 on the influential U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit. He previously worked for the Kenneth Starr, the independent counsel who investigated Democratic former president. Israel has shot the main cargo crossing with the Gaza Strip in retaliation for arson attacks by Palestinians and attempts to infiltrate its surgery. Food and medicine will now be allowed through Karim Shalom. Israeli Prime allowed to use a heavy hand against the Palestinian militant group Hamas, which dominates Gaza. A Hamas spokesperson called the Israeli move a new crime against humanity. Containers of burning fuel and explosive devices over the Gaza-Israel border since April. A commercial ship flying the Italian flag carrying dozens of rescued migrants was at Italian ports. The Vos Thalassa, a supply ship which serves oil rigs in the Mediterranean, rescued 66 people adrift off the Libyan coast. Italian media report says away from Italian ports, it handed the migrants over to the Italian Coast Guard. Italy's government has blocked. Senior officials have accused the humanitarian groups of operating a taxi service for migrants which have endangered lives by encouraging human smuggling. The Vo Salazar, however, is an Italian vessel rather than a foreign flagged ship and was not specifically on a search and rescue mission. It is the first time a private Italian ship has been blocked from the ports of Italy because of the migrant policy. International maritime law requires any ship that encounters an emergency to make its way to the area quickly and offer assistance. This is the World News on Air. The break. Stay with us.
Join us at the Weather Center. For Wednesday, we'll still see flashes of thunderstorms in locations around the north-central cities of Ilorin, Abuja, and Makurdi. It will gain momentum at a daytime temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. And for the northern states of Kano, conditions will be slightly cloudy there, with chances of rains in Sokoto at night. But daytime temperature around here will not exceed 34 degrees Celsius. Now moving to the coastal cities of Lagos, not much has changed from Tuesday as the forecast indicates cloudy and showers. And yes, the sun will pop in at some point. Now let's see what the conditions look like in other parts of Africa. Now on Wednesday, we'll be having partly cloudy skies. Daytime temperature for Johannesburg is still at 17 degrees. Showers are likely in Nairobi at 21 expected. In Addis Ababa at 30 degrees. That's the weather outlook for
Welcome back. Now to other reports. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who is currently on a 5-day visit at the Silicon Valley, San Francisco, California. The Vice President was received by the Chief Executive Officer, Sunday of Executives, to a meeting with the Nigerian delegation. The Vice President is leading a public-private collaborative investment roadshow to the United States, where he will be speaking to global industry leaders in information, technology and entertainment of the potential in Nigeria's technology industry. To this end, the Vice President was also hosted and had discussions with several investment companies and key U.S. technology firms in the Silicon Valley. During the visit, the Vice President will emphasize on a number of the Buhari's administration's policies, such as the ease of doing business reforms. In a tweet by the media aide to the Vice President, Laolu Akande, Professor Osinbajo will be having an Nigerians in diaspora later today. The Vice President is expected back in the country on Thursday. The Nigerian government wants operators of illegal refineries in Italy to do a rethink and quit the illicit trade in order to fast-track the economic development of the region and nation. A federal government delegation led by former Bayelsa State Governor Timi Priye Silva gave a tour of destroyed illegal refinery site in State.
Besides its huge impact on the national economy, illegal bunkering has taken adverse toll on the ecosystem and the environment. The community in Rivers State houses clusters of illegal refining sites, and as a way of interfacing with the people to amicably end the inherent dangers of the illicit trade, the former Bayelsa State Governor led a federal government delegation to the community.
There is a lot going which we call illegal refining of crude oil. That process is so ineffectual and incompetent. A lot of the sludge that is produced is disposed into our environment, and that is affecting of our source of livelihood itself. Our worry is that in the future we will begin to see all kinds of diseases if we are not seeing those diseases already.
Silva further assured the people that if legitimate refining activities are allowed to thrive.
We also complain that the companies are not able to do a lot for us. But how can a company that is losing all its production have money to do anything for you. We are saying, as your people, and standing with the communities to ensure that if these activities stop, the communities will benefit more.
The people of Bile pledged to ensure that within their area, but wants the federal government to live up to its responsibilities.
Poverty is one of the major problems we have in the Niger Delta, which you are aware. This area deserves ordinary development.
Power and their agencies is that.
In the last few weeks, series of illegal refining sites have been destroyed within Bile by security agencies. Zainab, BBA.
The Nigerian government has been asked to create more acquisition centers to enable more people engage in small and medium-scale food production. The call was made in Nasarawa State, North Central Nigeria, at an empowerment program for widows, women, and unemployed girls.
Setel Abubakar is a full-time housewife who hails from Burkina Faso, a West African country. She is a refugee and married to a Nigerian in a remote Nasarawa State, North Central Nigeria. Setel is joined by a 2-week-old widow, Cecilia, at the Women and Girls Empowerment Program on food making to enable them support their own.
I'm sure when we leave this place, we're able to do things we've learned, and it will just boost our family support.
Government should support such programs which give hope to less educated and jobless women in the society.
Government should try anyone that have the interest of learning to come and learn.
Some men who accompanied the beneficiaries to the event are hopeful that initiatives such as these could go a long way to encourage less privileged women in the society.
The benefits of the program to the entire youth and women in Karo local government is this and knowledge.
You must have is a program that is empowering women skillfully and the youth, so that women of today can survive on their own. A lot of things that are bringing to the collapse is 100% dependent on a man.
Organizers of the event say their passion to support the livelihood of many families can be better achieved with support from government and well-meaning Nigerians.
We're having an emotion, and it is something that touches people. We want.
It is not just to wait for government to show you what to do in terms of agriculture and food processing. We can actually teach you in this hall, and then you go back there and practicalize it on your own, and then you show it to the working at building more empowerment centers for agricultural activities.
As Nigerians groan in economic hardship as of this program, that many families can be given hope after all. Abulu Osemahu.
The Imo State House of Assembly has commenced impeachment process against the Deputy Governor, Prince Eze Madumeri. Deputy Speaker of the House, Ugonna Ozeribo, submitted the petition signed by 13 members. Lawmakers are accusing the Deputy Governor of misconduct, including not attending State Executive Council meetings, vacating of his office without permission for 90 days, and refusing to carry out lawful directives from the Governor. The House has asked the committee investigating the matter days. The arrivals of election workers, observers, security operatives for the July 14 governorship election in Ekiti State has led to boom in hospitality business in Ado-Ekiti, the capital. AIT's Yemi tells in the state capital and reports that they have been booked way ahead of the election, while those seeking accommodation are having a hard time.
This is Ado-Ekiti, awakened by the flurry of election activities. For first-timers, getting a place to pass the night is an Achilles task. This is because the hotels in the state capital and its environs have been still days away. It may be a hassle for those looking for hotel accommodation, but for the hotel managers, all smiles as they record the real massive patronage.
The business situation is that everywhere we all know that because of the election is a peak business period for every hotelier. Besides place, everywhere is tensed because of the election, and we believe that business booms by this time. Basically, that's what we we are going through now.
The business is improved in terms of accommodation and the kitchen. We thank God for that. We have lodgers every now and then. Our hotel is always full. We have full booking. That's now. Let me say last month.
While sharing their experience of patronage when there are no elections, they called on government to improve on its tourism sector.
We have the tourism initiatives and bring back to Ekiti so that it will not be until elections come into town before we have the place a busy place. We hope that as we are having guests, we are having visitors coming to the place, they will take advantage of that and then bring in business.
Outside, so and everybody know what is going on now in the country. So we bless God now. So we are still expecting more people to come and patrol.
It's not just hotels. Restaurants and other businesses are enjoying election patronage. Yemi Adebayo, AIT News, Ado-Ekiti.
The concept of stomach infrastructure state 4 years ago is still very much in force. Ahead of Saturday's governorship election in the capital, Ado-Ekiti, it was a contest between the two leading political parties to dispense free fuel. Apart from this, government and non-governmental organizations have been raising awareness on the need for voters to turn out on time for the elections and ensure peaceful conduct.
It's only a few days to the governorship election in Ekiti State. First-timers in the state are greeted with outdoor parties and their candidates. While on a drive towards the busy Ikere-Akure road, this gathering of commercial motorcycle operators, also known as Okada riders, caught our attention as there is no scarcity of fuel. Just a few meters down the same road are another set of motorcycle operators, also receiving free fuel. This obviously is part of the stomach infrastructure, which became team governorship polls in the same state.
I saw a young man here. I said, why are you here? He said, Oga. He was one of those people employed by Dr. John Cowdery. He was sacked. The only option for him is, at least, he have to feed his family with Okada. So, we look at a way of helping, at least, giving them fuel. Whatever money they are making today now, they are not buying fuel. It's for today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, free of charge.
What we are seeing here today is part of the stomach infrastructure program of Dr. Alifa Oshi. The stomach infrastructure program is not about giving rice and chicken to Ekiti people alone. It's about what we are seeing here today is part of the effort of the governor to support our people, particularly the downtrodden, to cushion the effect of the economic hardship our people are facing in Nigeria today.
Governor Alifa Oshi, he go come Okada to give our people for fuel for Ekiti State. No be today first time for Okada in Ekiti State.
As political events, mental organizations have been sensitizing voters to come out early to vote on 14th of July 2018. Another key message to voters is to ensure a violent-free election for the peace being enjoyed in the state to be. Ehizo J. Momo, AIT News, Ado-Ekiti.
Ahead of 2019 general election, the political calculations and realignments to dislodge President Buhari in 2019 taken signed a memorandum of understanding on Monday. The group, under the aegis of Coalition of United Political Parties, promised to come up strong and in all fronts to
39 political parties, including Nigeria's main opposition, People's Democratic Party (PDP), have merged forces in a grand alliance to ensure the exit of President Muhammadu Buhari and seize power from his ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). It's the biggest coalition in Nigeria's modern political goes into general elections in 2019.
We are not afraid. Fear has escaped. We are not afraid. Fear has escaped.
nation seems to enjoy a national spread, but whether he can find the sincerity of common purpose to unseat Buhari and dislodge APC as they came together in a massive political realignment.
Coming together to form this coalition to rescue Nigeria has no alternative.
One after the other swipe at President Buhari, casting aspersion on his policies, especially his seeming inability to tackle Nigeria's security challenges.
So I say congratulations to the people of Igbo who today to see a new Nigeria they'll be proud of and be happy to be a member of it. All those IDP people who believe that place is going to be their permanent place of choice.
The People's Democratic Party is facilitating the movement. In the new alignment to kick out Buhari and rescue Nigeria are members of the new People's Democratic Party who broke away from PDP in 2014 to help APC clinch power.
Once we were blind, now we can see. That's my vote. I want to say without fear or favor that if you speak the truth, you will die. For those who are still contemplating, if you don't join, you will die. So it's better to join and die.
Also in the coalition are members of the newly formed, reformed All Progressive Congress, ROAPC. Their inclusion is believed could further weaken APC as the realignment takes its toll in the National Assembly in the days ahead.
I assure you that General Buhari not only will lose election, but he will lose his deposit.
Under the umbrella name of Coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, against Buhari and APC, starting with Saturday's governorship elections in Ekiti. In the build-up to 2019 election, it will be of interest to see how Buhari responds to the latest political alignment. Omo Bazwaye, AIT News, Abuja.
Widowhood is a global phenomenon. However, its effect differs from society to society. For many weed societies, losing a spouse has many huge socio-economic consequences. This report looks at some of them and what needs to be done to provide a better life for widows.
I have 3 kids, 2 boys, 1 girl. Since when I bury my husband, I come back. No one of his brother or his sister ever called me for phone, asked me about myself, neither the children.
In many traditional societies, widowhood represents a social death for women. It is not just that they have lost their husbands, the breadwinner of the family, but it robs them of status as they suffer extreme discrimination and stigma by the widespread practices of property grabbing by the husband's family members.
I don't have job, I don't have anything. I'm running from, I will do zobo, do kunu, sell pure water to sustain my children and myself.
We will go to the bush to fetch firewood before we could eat. Even we use leather, cement leather to build kitchen, for you to know how bad it was that time.
The United Nations Women Report of 2017 says there are about 150 million of them living in deep poverty. A clergyman, Daniel Nwokedi, wants governments to formulate policies and programs that will meet widows' needs.
Majority of the widows, they have some children that cannot be able to cater for themselves. And that's where the government needs to come in, to give their children free education, make sure that through the welfare that they can also, the widows can also be taken care of.
He also wants religious bodies to take the plight of widows more seriously.
The Bible made us to understand in 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 3. It says that we should honor the widows. No, the widows are not our church members. You know, they are widows that came from different places.
The first global report on widows was launched by in New York in 2016 with a warning that the Sustainable Development Goals cannot be achieved unless the plight of the widows worldwide is urgently addressed. Okoma Obaja.
And that's the world news on AIT. I am Ihotu Udo. Thanks for staying with us.
sharing the African experience.
Area's first independent radio station.